Howdy y'all, and welcome. I hope everybody's been staying warm from this Arctic invasion that's been plaguing us for quite some time and has been enjoying the snowfall, as it has been making it feel like the holiday season. It's kind of unusual to see snowfall this far south. At least we haven't seen snowfall this far south this time of year, at least for quite a long time actually. As you can see, it's as far south as Indiana and as far south as New Mexico. And we got in on right around, I would say, 2.5 inches of snowfall here at the Williams Weather headquarters here in southern Indiana. So it's very exciting to see it this time of year. And of course, usually we're all excited to see snowfall this time of year, but then January, we all want it out of here. I'm in the boat of one snowfall's fine, mainly on Christmas Day, but then after that, it can get out of here. Go away winter at this point is all I'm saying. So it's already feeling like winter and it ain't even the first day of winter yet. So buckle up, y'all. I think this winter's going to be one to remember, that's for sure. Because as we can see here on the National Weather Service map, we can see that a storm is going to be impacting us this weekend, which could bring a cold front that could also bring severe weather to the Gulf Coast and a wintry mix and some snow to the upper Midwest, Northern Plains, Great Lakes, and potentially here in the Northeast. So it's like we could have a mess on our hands as we head into and past this weekend. So let's go ahead and, before we get into the weather models, take a look at the risk of heavy snowfall. We can see where the most snowfall is going to be falling at, which is up here in the Northwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast, leading up into the 14th time frame. And as far as precipitation goes, looks like the Northwest is going to be getting a jackpot of rain, which we'll get into the snow totals and rainfall totals here in a little bit for the risk of heavy precipitation and snowfall. So to take a look at what we could expect for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have to take a look at the GFS. Now keep in mind that anything over a week out is virtually impossible to forecast, so please take this forecast with a grain of salt. And we can see today that we're going to be dealing with some dreary conditions here in the southeast and northwest. Could be dealing with some heavy snowfall here in Virginia and eastern Kentucky, and even in West Virginia, as well as some icing potential here in northern North Carolina. So dreary conditions occurring here in the southeast and northwest, and it's looking like as we head into this weekend, could be dealing with some heavy snowfall in the Rockies. Could be for those ski resorts out there, good old fresh snowpacks. Get out there and enjoy those if any are open. And watch as we head into and past this weekend, we could come in on a quick clipper system here in the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region. I would expect probably an additional inch to maybe 2, but most areas I think are going to be coming in on a dusting. It's going to be quickly getting out of our hair as we head into Sunday evening, and there could be some school closures and delays, especially up here in the Northeast and potentially here in the Ohio Valley. And that's going to be getting out of our hair. And then we're going to be quiet for a little bit here out east, unless you live up here in the very far northern parts of the Great Lakes region. But watch as we head into the middle of next week, we could have another concerning snowstorm heading our way. Now, every model run has been showing this wibbling and wobbling further south and further north, so it definitely just depends where it's going to be setting up at. As far as snow totals go, it's to be determined at this point, but it's looking like Wisconsin and Michigan's definitely going to be getting in on the most snowfall potentially. Now, this could head further south into Iowa or further north into Canada. It just depends, but of course, I'll be keeping y'all informed on this, of course, as this is subject to change. And we got another one after that as well. So we got back-to-back snowstorms heading our way, so definitely got to be monitoring these. This is looking like back-to-back systems are going to be heading our way here in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast, with some flooding potential here in the Southeast and Gulf Coast, with severe weather potential as well. And of course, the Northwest is just getting slammed with a lot of rainfall and snowfall. And it's looking like we could have a little bit of a quiet pattern leading up into the middle of the month potentially. Could come in on some spotty snow showers up here in the Northeast, mainly lake effect snow, and some snowfall here in the Northern Plains. But watch as we head into the right around the first day of winter, we could have a wintry mess on our hands. Now, the last model run here on the GFS was showing this centered over Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan. Now, this model run is showing it more over the central plains, with some icing occurring in Oklahoma. And this is going to be causing some travel disruptions big time here in the central part of the country, so we definitely got to monitor this. And it's looking like we could have some severe weather as well leading up into the first day of winter, and it's also looking to impact the Ohio Valley. The last model run was showing it not over the central part of the country, and just over the northern plains, upper Midwest into the Ohio Valley. But this model run is showing it heading into the central plains, central and southern plains, and into the Ohio Valley, leading up into the first day of winter. Now, this is subject to change. Please keep this in mind. Please take this with a grain of salt. Well over 300 some hours out. But if this holds up, then it looks like we could have a wintry mess on our hands, especially here in the central part of the country where the infrastructure just doesn't handle it very well down there, especially in Texas. So I'll be keeping y'all informed on this leading up into the end of the month. But so basically, it's looking like we could have system after system after system rolling through the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast with another concerning winter storm as we head into the end of the month. And the Southeast could be coming in on severe weather as well leading up into the end of the month. But before we get into the Climate Prediction Center, let's go ahead and take a look at the precipitation totals and the snowfall of what we could be coming in on. Now, as far as snow goes, you can see where the jackpot of snow is going to be at, mainly up here in the northern half of the country into the Northeast and Great Lakes. The Great Lakes is going to be the jackpot of snow as far as the eastern half of the country goes. And, of course, the Rockies. Good snowpack up there for the ski resorts. And as you can see, as I zoom into the eastern part of the country here, right around a foot of snowfall near Lake Michigan. And, of course, right around 3 to 6 inches for the next couple of weeks here in Michigan, and really for much of the northern half of the eastern part of the country. So looks like this snowfall ain't gonna go anywhere anytime soon, though. We're gonna have some more snow on top of what already fell here out east. Now, as we head out west, we can see, of course, a lot of snowfall out there, of course, especially the Rocky Mountains where the ski resorts are. So definitely, again, a good snowpack out there for the ski resorts. And as far as precipitation goes, there is a risk for heavy precipitation for the next couple of weeks up here in the Northwest. And you can see that right here, right around, I would say, 2 to 4 inches, locally higher amounts possible. So definitely going to be some localized flooding up there on top of some snowfall in the higher elevations. So be mindful of that. We zoom out here in the lower 48, we can see the Northwest is going to be getting the jackpot of rain, as well as down here in the far southeast part of the country, and we can see that the southwest and south central is going to start to dry out a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into what the Climate Prediction Center is expecting. Then we'll get into the temperatures, as I'm thinking we're going to be coming in on another Arctic invasion. I think it's going to be sticking around for quite some time, unfortunately, y'all. And as we take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, we can see that the northern half of the country is going to be above average, while the southern half is going to be a little bit below average. I think I'm in a little bit of a disagreement with the southeast. I think there's going to be some severe weather and flooding potential as we head into the middle of the month, but I think as we head towards the end of the month, I think we're going to start to dry out a tad, especially right around the 16th time frame. And I think that's why they put below average down here in the Gulf Coast, because right around the 14th through 16th time frame, I think it's going to start to dry out down there. But as far as the northern half of the country, we'll be coming in on system after system here in the Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and Northeast, which could dump a lot of heavy snowfall in this region right here. And as far as the Northwest goes, there's going to be a lot of snowfall in the Rockies and a potential atmospheric river occurring here in the very far parts of the Northwest part of the country, where a lot of heavy rainfall and snowfall is going to be occurring up by Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and even parts of Montana as well. So what about the next 8 to 14 days? Well, pretty much the same story here. I think the south is going to start to dry out at this point, as well as the southwest, so pretty spot on down here. But the northern part of the country, I think, still going to be coming in on system after system leading up into the first day of winter. And of course, we got that concerning storm system as well as we head into the 18th to 21st time frame. Definitely going to be keeping my eye on that, as I think we're going to be dealing with a wild ride leading up into the first day of winter. As this can and will change, so please take this with a grain of salt. So now that I beat the dead horse on the precipitation, let's go ahead and get into the temperatures of what we could expect. Now, of course, you can see today, very chilly amongst much of the lower 48, unless you live down here in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and even California. A lot of snowbirds head to these states during the wintertime, and I don't blame them, except for California, where it costs too much to live there. But if you do go there, then by all means enjoy it. But you can see leading up into this weekend, it's going to be very chilly amongst much of the lower 48. Some warm air creeping up here into Oklahoma, though, but really, it looks like this negative air is going to be sticking around for quite a while, though, y'all, unfortunately. Southwest is going to be relatively nice, though. You can see Got some nice temperatures here in Texas and Arizona still, but it just looks like that cold air is just holding a vice grip over us for the next couple of weeks anyway. But we could come in on a slight warm up leading up into the middle of the month, but I don't think these warm ups are going to last very long. As you can see, that cold air slaps it back down again, and then that warm air creeps back up again. You can see that cold air slapping it back down again, and then we got that negative air just holding a vice grip over us for the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be dealing with an Arctic invasion for quite some time, y'all. So to rewind this, basically, we're just going to be freezing our tokuses off. Jack Frost is going to be blowing that cold air on us, conspiring with Elf on the Shelf, because all of us have been naughty here as of late. You can see that negative air is just sticking around, but we could come in on a little warm up, a slight warm up, as we head into the middle of the month, and then it's going to be knocked down again as we head into right around the middle and sort of end of the month, right around the first day of winter. It's going to be back into the negatives again. And that Arctic air is just going to be sticking around for quite some time, unfortunately, y'all. So, what does the Climate Prediction Center have to say? Well, they're showing us that the eastern half of the country up here into the northern plains can be below average, while the western part of the country down into the southwest is going to be above average. Now, the above average really don't mean much per se. It just means that it's going to be feeling warmer than it has been, but not too much warmer. It can still be cold, but still be above average for this time of year. That's all that means. It's still going to be cold here in the Rockies, but it's going to be a little bit above normal than it has been. And of course, the eastern part of the country is going to be dealing with some negative air leading up to the middle of the month. Next 8 to 14 days, as we inch closer to the first day of winter, it's really much of the same story. We got that Arctic air just coming down and sticking around and holding a vice grip on us for quite some time, but the southwest still is going to be remaining above normal for this time of year. Now, we could come in on a couple more warm-ups leading up into the first day of winter, but I don't think those warm-ups are going to be lasting too long, so get used to the cold air, y'all, because it's looking to hold a vice grip over us for quite some time, unfortunately. So, in summary, basically what I would expect for the next couple of weeks is I would expect system after system after system to roll through here in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. It's going to be dumping a lot of heavy snowfall, and it's going to be sticking around for quite a while as well, as I don't think we're going to be coming out of those below freezing temperatures anytime soon. I think we could come in on a couple warm-ups leading up into the middle of the month, but I don't think we're going to be out of that cold air anytime soon. And I think we could come in on a little bit of a break leading up into the 16th time frame, as Mother Nature is going to be shaping us up for another active period here as we head into the first day of winter. Now, as far as the southern half of the country goes, it's going to be dry down here in the southwest and south central, but I think the Gulf Coast could be coming in on an active weather pattern leading up into the 14th, though. That's where I have a slight disagreement with the Climate Prediction Center at. But I think they're getting their data for right around the 16th time frame, so could be coming in on an active weather pattern down here leading up into the middle of the month potentially. And as far as temperatures go, I know it says above average here in the southwest, but it's still going to be cold for much of the country, so definitely be mindful of that as Jack Frost is conspiring against us, make us feel miserable as we head into the first day of winter. So before I let y'all go, we do have some space weather to talk about, as the sun has been showing off here as of late with some solar flares and causing some geomagnetic storms leading up into today. Today's sort of the last day of it, but what this means is basically might see some auroras here in the northern half of the country, so get out there and take some pictures while you can. Because as we can see here today, a low end of auroras occurring up here by Canada and lower tomorrow, so still might be able to see it in the northern part of the country, but again, the sun is showing off, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's video and got a lot out of it. If you did, please hit that like and share button. It helps more than you know. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, because here wins whether we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And I also have a Rumble channel if you want to go check that out too. It's WilliamsWX98. I'd appreciate if you'll follow me on there as well. So basically what I would expect for the next couple of weeks is system after system to roll through here in the upper Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and Northeast. Could bring a lot of snow with it as well. And as far as Northwest goes, could be dealing with some atmospheric river-like conditions up there, which could mean a lot of snowfall in the Rockies and a lot of rainfall up by Seattle, so be mindful of that. As we head into the middle of the month, we could come in on a drying pattern, which could mean that Mother Nature could set us up for another active period leading up into the end of the month, right around Christmas time potentially as well. And as far as temperatures go, we're going to be dealing with some Arctic air leading up to the first day of winter as well. We could have 1 or 2 warm-ups, but I don't think they're going to be lasting too long, so definitely enjoy those while they last. If you do come in on a warm-up, enjoy it, but looks like the Arctic air is here to stay, unfortunately. Also, again, like, comment, subscribe, stay warm, stay safe, and enjoy the holiday season. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and never stop forecasting.